struct is the key word to declare the structure we needed. Then here the structure name we are given as student. One structure variable can be assigned to another only when they are of same type of structure. If both are same data type of members if they have, then only we can able to assign, otherwise assignment is not possible here. Whereas S1, S2, S3, S4 up to S9, on this place only one time I can write S of 10. Welcome back to one and all. Myself Vasanta, lecturer in computer science, Vidhyaashram, Puri University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysore. Today, we are going to start with the second session of structure chapter. Whereas in the previous session, you have studied regarding introduction, definition of a structure. What do you mean by structure? What are the advantages of structure? How to declare a structure or defining a structure variable. Whereas on today's class, you will come to know how to access the members of the structure, that is, accessing the elements of a structure, then for that one sample program, and how to initialize a structure, then what do you mean by nested structure as well as array of structures. Now, one by one we'll discuss. When we come on structure, structure is a collection of heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous means all the elements are of different data type. But when they come on array, there it is a collection of homogeneous elements. There in homogeneous elements, all the elements are same data type. When they come on structure, all the elements may be homogeneous or it may be heterogeneous also. It means that elements may be of different data type. Whereas here, if I want to access the elements of a structure, then compulsory we require dot operator. With the help of dot operator only, we can able to access the elements of the structure. Without dot operator, we cannot able to access any element of the structure. That is, after the structure variables are defined, we should know how the members of a structure variable is accessed. That can be done by a member function, is always part of a structure, and it is not possible to refer the members directly. Directly we cannot able to access the data without dot operator here. The members of a structure can be accessed by using the dot operator. The syntax of dot operator as follows, like structure variable name, then dot member name, which member you are accessing. Then the structure members are written in three parts. The first part, the name of the structure, which structure we are accessing the data. Then dot operator, which consists of a parent. That means which is structure name first you have to write, then dot, then which variable you are accessing, that you have to mention. That is the member name finally you have to write. It means that it contains three parts here. One is structure name, dot operator as well as member name. Now this we are going to explain with one simple program. Consider I just want to input as well as display the data with the help of structure. There write a program to input and display the information of a structure, especially here student, by using structure concept. First we are using the header file #include iostream.h. This is a supporting header file for scene as well as cout function. Next #include iomanip.h. This is a supporting header file for manipulating functions like set, w, set, precision. For that, this is a supporting header file. Then we are using one more function header file here, #include string.h. This is a supporting header file for string function. Then as usual, we are going to start with the main program, void main. Here first we are open the main program, struct, then student. Struct is the key word to declare the structure we needed. Then here the structure name we are given as student. In this we have four data members. One is register number of type integer, char name. Inside the bracket we are written 15. It means that it is a character data type, but maximum it can take 15 characters. Then char combination 4 we are given. It means that here for combination maximum it can take 4 characters. Then percentage we are declared it as float format, that means elements of different data type, then we are going to close this structure with that members. Here, C out, enter the register number of the student. In the output screen it has to display, that's why we are written C out. Then C in extraction operator st dot register number. It means that with the help of that whatever object here we are created with that, we can able to access here. Then when we come on, C in extraction operator st dot name, that is with the help of variable, we can able to access. Enter the combination of a student, then we will input that. If you observe here, if I want to access any data, first structure variable name you have to write, which is a variable. Here also if you observe, st represents the variable. Then enter percentage of the student, that we will input. Enter the register number, then once again we will input, and everything, all the things first one by one we will input. Later on we will display that. C out, register number is st dot register number. C out, name is st dot name. In the same way, combination is st dot combination. Percentage is st dot percentage. Like that, we can able to input the value as well as display the value. That means with the help of variable, we can able to access the members of a structure here. Then here, if you observe here, in this, if I want to access any members, first structure variable name we required. Whereas in this case, with the structure variable name, st represent structure variable name. With that, we can able to input as well as we can able to display the value. In the output, when you run the program, first it will display. Enter the register number of the student, then you will enter the register number, enter name of the student, you will enter the name, then enter the combination, whichever combination you want that you will enter, then enter the percentage of the student. Then later on, all the values will display. Now is it clear? It means that if I want to access any element, then structure variable name we required here. Next, if I want to initializing a structure, then compulsory with the help of assignment operator, we can able to initialize the values here. Like any other data types, it is also possible to initialize the structure members of a structure variable here. Structure members of a variables can be initialized like whichever structure, write down structure, which is a member, write down, then equals, inside the flower bracket, write down whichever values you want. That means, whereas in this employee, there is a register number, ID, then combination or work, whatever designation, whatever attribute they are given, write down all the values with the help of assignment operator. That means, how we can able to initialize in other pattern, in the structure also in the same way, here we can able to initialize the value here. Next, on this initialization initializes ID field to 123. If you observe here, ID, it is we are given as 123. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 we are given. Then name field as Lakshmi and designation as manager and salary field, whatever value we are given, that it will display here. A structure variable can be assigned to another structure variable. It means that one structure value we can able to assign to another structure variable here. For example, std2 equals std1. That means std1 value can be assigned to std2 here. Then here std1 and std2 are the structure variables of the structure std. std is the structure, std1, std2 is the variables. The value of each members of std1 is assigned to the corresponding members of std2. Now is it clear? Next, on this, since a large structure can have dozens of members, such as assignment statement can be required the computer to do considerable amount of work here. One structure variable can be assigned to another only when they are of same type of structure. If both are same data type of members if they have, then only we can able to assign. Otherwise, assignment is not possible here. If you have tried to assign a value of one structure type to variable of another type, When they are same data type, then only we can able to initialize here. The next, nested structure. What do you mean by this nested structure? When they come on nested, we have nested if, nested for, like that. Whereas nested if means inside one if statement, if you have one more if, then it can be called as nested if. Nested for means inside one for loop, if you have one more for loop, then it can be called as nested for loop. Whereas nested structure means inside one structure, if you have one more structure, then it can be called as nested structure. When they come on, a structure can be defined as members of another structure. Such structure where one structure is embedded with another structure is called as nested structure. Inside one structure, if you have one more structure, then it can be called as nested structure. During the declaration of nested structure, the definition of the embedded structure must appear before the definition of outer structure. Consider one example. In this example, struct distance we are given. On this, int feet we are given and float inches we are given. And one more structure, struct room. Here distance, length we are given and distance, breadth we are given. If you observe here, two structures are there. One is distance and one more is room. The structure room contains another structure distance here. Distance here it is getting from this structure as members of another structure. Whenever nested structures are used, the definition of the internal structure should be precede the definition of the outer structure. Next we will move on to array of structure. When you come on variable, only one variable we are declaring. If I want to display array of variables, then we required especially this array of structures. On this, what happens? Generally, only one variable we can declare. If I want, I can able to declare multiple variables. When you come on array, array is a collection of homogeneous elements. It means that all elements of same data type. A single variable that represents a structure creates memory space to one set of information. Generally for variable, when they come on that, only one set of variables we are getting. If I want to take list of variables, then we can use array of structure here. If we want to create a memory space for more instance, then we may have to increase the number of variables or use of facilities called arrays we have to use on that concept. An array of structure is an array in which each element of the array is a structure. Thus, it is collection of structures put together as an array. Whereas when you come on just a only one variable, if I am going to write a of 10, then 10 variables, is it no? Then means here I can store 10 elements of same data type here. For example, if I am going to write int, then all the 10 variables of integer data type. For example, let us consider there are 10 students studying in the college. We have to define the structure so that it should maintain the information about student of the college. If we have to store data 10 students, we need to use array rather than single variable. Whereas S1, S2, S3, S4 up to S9. On this place, only one time I can write S of 10. If I have 100 students, then directly I can write S of 100 like that. When I come on this array of structure, when create an array of structure, we are creating an array of the entire template by using this way. Here struct student we are given. It means that structure name is student. In this we have data members like register number, name, combination, fees. And here totally 10 variables, especially on this structure we have. This is nothing but array of structure. In this declaration, S is the array of 10 students. Each element of the array is separated structure of type student here. Now it's clear. This I will show you. For example, here register number. If you observe here, register number for first student, second student, third student, fourth student, For up to 10th student, it will store the information. Here register number, name, combination, fees. For first student, S of 0, S of 1 up to S of 9. It starts from 0, that's why the last one will take it as S of 9. Memory allocation for an array of a structure, here like this way, the memory can be allocated here. An array of structure can be assigned initial values just like any other arrays. Members that each element is a structure that must be assigned a corresponding set of initials here. Now is it clear? Then I am going to explain this with one example. Consider I want to display some values. For example, here information. Here register number we have of type integer, then name of type character, then fees of type float. And here on this structure, info is a structure, then here we are creating the variable. In the bracket, if you not mentioned how many variables are there, then at the time of initialization also we can able to define that. Here first one, register number take it as 1, then name take it as Lavanya, and then fees. Because fees we are given as float data type, here it will take the float data type. It means that how many variables totally here we have? Totally 4 variables we have. For all the 4 variables we are initializing here. If I want, I can initialize for one variable as well as for multiple variables by using array concept. Now is it clear? These are the major concept on this structure chapter. Whereas when they come on structure, the main thing you have to remember is structure is a collection of heterogeneous elements. It is a collection of heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous means all the elements are of different data type. Sometimes it may be same, but generally different data type here. Then if I want to access the structure members, then compulsory we have to use dot operator. Without dot operator, we cannot able to access any structure members here. And with that, in the structure, we can able to process the data, we can able to access the data, we can able to print the data. If I want, I can use nested structure also. In a nested structure, inside one structure, if I have one more structure, then it can be called as nested structure. When you come on nested if, inside one if you have one more if, then it can be called as nested if. Inside one for loop, if you have one more for loop, then it can be called as nested for loop. If I want, I can use nested structure also. Then for that, you can access the data as well as if you want, you can initialize the values in the structure also. If I want, I can able to initialize the values for one variable or for multiple variable also, we can able to initialize the value. These are the major concept on this chapter. Next class, we'll meet you once again with a new chapter. Thank you for all of you.